everyone, so today we're talking about long-lasting foundations, and these tend to be foundations that are catered a little bit more towards the oilier skin girls among us, because if you've got dry skin they tend to just look quite cakey because the formulas are thicker and they are meant to kind of hang around on your skin so they're not as dewy. But I've got three that I really like that I want to talk to you about, and then one at the end that's kind of a controversial choice that I'm going to pop in as a little cheeky extra just because I find it lasts really well on my skin, so I thought it was worth a mention. But the first one is a very notorious one on YouTube, and this is the Revlon colorystay. And you'll notice a trend with a lot of these that they usually have the word stay in kind of the name of the foundation, which is very smart of the companies. But this is the combination to oily skin version. They do one for dry skin as well. Haven't tried that one, but this claims to last for 24 hours, as you can see here. I don't know if any foundation lasts that long, to be honest. I wouldn't want my foundation to last that long because at some point I would be wanting to take it off. But this is quite full coverage, kind of medium to full. It's quite a thick texture. I've complained in videos before about the fact that it comes with that type of kind of the just hole rather than lack of pump. It's quite a thick textured foundation. It offers nice coverage, it's buildable, it sits nicely on the skin, and it does last really well. And it's a good price point as well. I think it's kind of around £12. It kind of gets a little bit more expensive as time goes on, but really nice, dependable, good foundation. And then the next one that I've got is a very inexpensive one, and if you've watched my videos for a while you'll know that this is one that I absolutely love, and this is the 17 Stay Time foundation. This claims to do full coverage. It's got SPF 25 in it, it's got a little pump action, which is great, which I don't understand why Revlon can't do considering this is about £6. And this is probably my favourite. It lasts beautifully on the skin. It's very thick, it's got a very thick texture, and you have to make sure that your skin's well moisturised before you apply something like this. I'd say that with most of these products, to be fair, anyway, but with a product like this, definitely make sure your skin's really well moisturised underneath and work quite quickly. And it feels thick at first, but once you kind of work it into the skin, it has got a slightly kind of luminous finish, but it's very full coverage. It's a great kind of bad skin day foundation because it just works really nicely, and it's definitely one that I think everybody should kind of give a try because it's only £6, and the shade selection is quite nice because it's quite kind of yellow toned, which I like and I find very hard to get from the drugstore. Then the last one is by Tarte, and this is their Amazonian Clay 12-hour full coverage foundation. Packaging's really cute. The one thing I will say about this is that I don't really understand why they claim that it's full coverage, because I don't think it's particularly full coverage. It's kind of nowhere near as full coverage as the 17 one, and the texture of this is quite unusual. It's a little bit of a moussey texture. It's a similar texture to the Rimmel Stay Matte. It's that type of texture. It's a little bit of a moussey texture, and it kind of sits on the skin in a way that I think it's probably kind of better for if you've got really perfect skin. So my skin kind of in texture is not the most even. It's kind of a little bit bumpy and it kind of can sit in my pores, and the mousse things don't tend to work as well during the summertime. I find that I get on better with mousse type of products during the winter when my skin's kind of not as, the pores aren't as visible, because this can sit in your pores, but it does last a really nice time on the skin. The only thing is I feel like it kind of can sit in here and it just doesn't sit as nicely as the other two on my skin, but it's definitely one worth checking out if you're kind of not super oily and you want something that's going to last longer and you've got kind of quite pink undertones. That's another thing worth mentioning with this. It's not great for yellowy undertones. I've kind of had a look at all their shades, and this one is in the shade what shade is this? I can never figure out with the Tarte ones what the shade name is. I don't know. I'll have to put it in the description box because I can't see it anywhere on here. I think it must have just been on the box. But very pink toned, all of their shades, so that is something that's worth mentioning. And then last but not least is my kind of favourite foundation that I know a lot of people complain that it doesn't last as well on them, but on me this lasts great, and this is the lovely NARS Sheer Glow. I love this foundation. I've loved this foundation for years, and I just find it really lasts beautifully on my skin kind of the end of the day, and it's still on my face and it still looks nice. I do need to powder, but I need to do that with every foundation that I use. I kind of always need to powder a couple of times throughout the day, but this does last really well on me. And I think if you have got a drier skin, trying something like this might be a nice option for you because it can It's got a little bit more of an emollience to it, so it's not as kind of drying, and it won't kind of make your skin look a little bit tired because it's got that little bit of luminosity to it. But it does last really well on me, and I have got very oily skin, so I can't explain it, but I don't want to recommend this kind of as one of the foundations because I know for a lot of people this doesn't last very well on their skin, so I don't want to kind of put it out there, but I'm just saying for me personally this works really well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I am always open to doing more of these if you want. I did one for dry skin a while ago that you really liked, and I can do one for oily skin if you want, or that kind of thing. Let me know what your thoughts are on the matter, and let me know what your favourite long wearing foundations are. I know everyone loves Estee Lauder double wear, but I just can't get on with that. So let me know your favourite kind of long wearing formulas. I'd be really interested to hear, and I hope you all have a fab day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.